Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
For those who don't know, I'm Dr. Willie Jolley, and this is the beautiful and the brilliant, beautiful, and tough as nails, Dee Jolley. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we have been married 39 years, going on 40 years. Haven't had an argument in about 38 years. Am I right? And so, don't even make the comment. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to stop you before you make that comment. It's all because I do what he says. That's not true. And you know that's not a truth. So I'm going to stop you before you tell an untruth. Anyway, we wrote the book. We're grateful for all the people who have said this book has changed their marriages. So grateful. So we want to invite you to go to jolleymarriage.com. Get a free chapter if you're a first timer. Get a free chapter from the book. The biggest chapter is on communication, which is the number one reason people break up. Because there are three boulders in marriage: sex, money, communication. Boulders break up marriages. And all three have a common denominator: communication or lack thereof.
But what if you're over the edge and there is no communication and you're headed for divorce?
Well, that's why communication is so important. If there's no communication, you over the edge, you've fallen off the edge. So we want to give people that chapter to help them from getting to the edge, over the edge, or in a bad spot.
And I'm saying for tonight, our focus is if you're already over the edge. Am I not?
Well, we're not going to tonight. We're just talking about people yet. You've already jumped into the night show. I'm trying to make sure we welcome people who might be first timers and say thank you for coming. There's a free chapter waiting for you at jolleymarriage.com. Okay. Let me finish. You're always rushing me. And then letting them know that communication is critical and why they need to get that free chapter.
Get the free chapter.
Okay. Now, Greg and Linda are watching from home after high school soccer. Greg is still coaching. Wow. With your travel, wow, that's amazing that you're still able to do that. And so, God bless you. Well, we want to welcome everybody. Let's see. From Unity Church, where I spoke a week ago. Many people said they're going to watch. Welcome to all the folks at Unity of DC. Welcome all the people I met at the Polo match.
Is it polo?
Polo. We went to the polo match, and it was
this weekend.
And it was very nice. Met a lot of people there, and then a lot of people at the Congressional Black Caucus. Met a lot of folks there. I was able to go to the Phoenix dinner and be part of that, and met people who say, "I watch your show." I do want to say a shout out. My friend Mark Harris has a beautiful lady in his life, and I went by the American University reception. Mm-hmm. And she said, you guys, this show, every Monday night, I make it a priority to watch it. And I got the video and I showed it to you, that she said hello to you, and how she watched it every Monday night. So thank you. And all of you who watch it, and those who, I'm amazed at how many people do it. Okay, let's get on with the show. Now, tonight is a show that's based on, hello, Olympia from Orbs Royal Treatment. That's right. Jolley's from Orbs, ORBS, Royal Treatment. She's wedding planner.
I think events. She does more than weddings, doesn't she?
Well, maybe so, but she's part of the Wedding Planning Association. She's an expert in that and does events. And it's called ORBS Royal Treatment. So y'all check it out. Okay, Nancy Omar is with us as well. Thank you. And a few others are joining in. Now, today we want to talk about a topic that became where it was actually a result of an article in the Washington Post. Michelle Singletary is one of the iconic columnists for the Washington Post.
Related to finance.
On the issue of finance, and her column is called The Color of Money.
And the very first book signing I took William to was Michelle Singletary's first book.
Okay. And so Michelle also, I got to get a shout out, is also a member of our church. Now, our church is not a little church. It's a big church, First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, the largest church in the state of Maryland. And has over, well, he hates for me to tell the numbers.
But don't say that then.
It has 4,000 seats. Okay, 4,000 seats in the sanctuary, and it fills up 3 times a Sunday. So I won't say, plus the online members. But
Plus, she and her husband oversee.
They oversee the financial fitness program ministry for the church.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I came across this article in the Washington Post. She had written about a great divorce can. It's very current. We've been talking about a great divorce, but this one was different. A great divorce can upend your retirement plan. So tonight we want to talk about, can divorce destroy your retirement funds?
And I think, in all honesty, you're uncomfortable with this because we're focused on how couples can stay together.
You know, I don't like divorce, so I'm trying to get everybody to stay together.
But there are times, and I was like, this is so important that Michelle Singletary would carve out time to say, you need to consider these things if this is where you are.
So let's talk about that. Then I'm going to talk about how they need not to get divorced in the first place. But people do get divorced. It does happen.
Well, according to the research that Michelle Singletary has done recently, in 1990, only about 8% of marriages split.
Now, say it again.
8% of marriages with people over at the age of 50.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to say something was wrong with that first statistic. You didn't quite quote it right.
I'm so sorry.
I forgive you.
8%.
Landon Pack is here. Hey, Landon Pack.
Of marriages with people over 50 split in 1990.
Okay.
And by the time we get to today, nearly 40% of people married over the age of 50 are splitting or divorcing.
Wow.
And that's according to Bowling Green State University's National Center for Family and Marriage Research.
Wow.
So it really is something which is necessary to talk about because we're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we are doing.
And maybe
to keep that together.
Okay. But also, I think if people understood how uncomfortable and how complicated it can be to get a divorce, you can reconsider. So you can look at it from the side where we are saying how to communicate, how to use your words, how to be tender and thoughtful, and that it is better together if you like each other.
Well, you got married.
Well, let's not go down that path. Just because you got married does not.
You liked each other at one point, or you like something about somebody.
But here we are, and for some, it is so bad.
Yeah.
That they're like, I can't take it. So we need to look at what actually occurs and can be more painful than getting a divorce and might make you reconsider and say, let us figure out how to work this out. Right?
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, my position is I'm going to go back to, first of all, a quote that a friend of mine, Jim Rhodey, we interviewed him and his wife, Naomi, over the years. We've interviewed them once or twice. And they are in the 80s. They have been very, very, very successful in business.
Smart practice,
dental practice.
Dental
They
equipment.
were the founders of that. And so they have been very, 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 very successful. And Jim always says, stay together because it will impact your net worth. Stay together.
That's because he's always focused on crunching the numbers.
Right. Now, there was a song when I was growing up that everybody knew. It's cheaper to keep her. Mm-hmm.
But once we get to the details, then you can understand why. It's easy to say it's cheaper to keep them. Oh, okay. And then you're like really upset. Okay, well, I'm gonna get a divorce anyway. But when you start to look at the detail, it might change your focus. That's where I thought.
Such as, I don't know what you mean by look at the details. It's cheaper to keep her. That's
what does that mean? It's cheaper to keep her. What does that mean?
That means it costs when you
exactly. Like number one.
Hey, you won't put your hand down and make noise. I can make noise too. See, the reason why we're together all this time, and I tell her often, is because I'm not intimidated by her heavy-handed perspectives and her opinion on everything.
You're so in charge. You're the head.
Yeah,
with
right.
The brain.
Yeah, right. You don't say that.
And I'm the neck.
Okay. Your mother used to say the head can't turn without the neck. Okay. Anyway.
And the neck is gentle.
Yeah. So let me finish this thought. So I'm saying to you that it's cheaper to keep her because it impacts your retirement. It impacts your funds.
So let's be specific is what I'm saying.
Well, whatever I told you, be specific. Go ahead.
You're interrupting me.
You keep dilly-dallying, dilly-dallying.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Division of retirement assets. That's specific.
Okay.
And you want to know what that means?
What does that mean?
Okay. In a divorce, assuming that you have retirement, right? You got a 401k, maybe. A 403b if you're government, IRAs, and sometimes pensions. And pensions are no longer popular because most businesses got rid of them because they didn't want to pay in perpetuity. In fact, pensions are the demand to return to pensions is one of the reasons that Boeing employees are on strike. They want the return of their pensions, which they got rid of years ago. Isn't that something? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the retirement accounts are considered community property in a divorce. So it's like, I put this money in this 401k, you got your own.
We know somebody, a woman, whose husband was a salesman, but she made more money than him. He was in sales. She was in corporate leadership in HR. And when they divorced,
she had to pay him.
She had to pay him over time. Part of her retirement went to him. Wow.
That's a practical example.
Yeah, that's practical.
And the laws vary from state to state.
And she was 10 years younger than him.
Wow, really?
Wow. And still had to pay him.
Wow. There's something called a QDRO. I never heard of that. Qualified Domestic Relations Order. To divide a 401k or a pension plan, a court may issue that, a qualified domestic relations order that says a spouse is entitled.
That's probably what he got. That dude got. Olympia said it's going to cost you money to let her go. Better keep
or him go.
Or let him go. That's
okay, right. Pensions. If the spouse has a pension, depending upon the state, the court can award a part of that pension. And a pension, a corporate pension is like forever. It's in the sense that the corporation is always paying. That is why corporations got rid of it, because
people were living longer.
Right. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, that's why white got rid of it.
It became
because the lifespan increased. Okay, go ahead.
Then there's all right, you're getting a divorce. And maybe you're not 59 and a half, you're 50, right? You get a divorce. If you withdraw money from your pension plan and you're not at least 59 and a half, I don't know how to calculate it, federal government, and you're not 59 and a half, you're going to pay penalties and extra taxes to get a divorce.
Wow.
Right? Okay. How about couple, Social Security? You divorce, somebody's going to lose Social Security.
Really?
So Social Security benefits. And first of all, Social Security is, the whole process and everything is really convoluted. The spouse could be entitled to a portion of that also. And then sometimes if that's the debt. I won't go into that part. No. Okay. Then you've got your legal fees. The more complicated the divorce is, the more expensive.
We know somebody who cost $250,000 to get a divorce.
But they obviously were wealthy.
Well, I don't know if he was wealthy, but he got a divorce and it cost him because he was trying to get custody of the children. So his legal fees, all of that came to $250,000. He did get custody. But
I know you're talking about. He's doing fine. But I would say, he has a strong financial foundation.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. What about the alimony and child support? If you're required to pay alimony or child support, it can reduce your overall monthly income. Now, some people get around that by trying to get paid under the table. But I don't know how effective that is if you actually have a stable job, right? Some try to do that. Other tax implications. It can push one person into a higher tax bracket. Sometimes a lower tax bracket might be beneficial, but it might push one into a higher tax bracket. And it changes your how you live, your living expenses. Because once you divide your assets, you might discover that you can no longer maintain the quality of life that you once had.
Or once you have one income rather than two incomes, same difference. Okay, let me read a little bit about this article Michelle said. Aside from the emotional toll of getting a divorce, there's the financial impact of splitting the money and setting aside for that you've set aside for your golden years. And Dee said 1990, people 50 and older accounted for 8%. A phenomenon known as a great divorce. Today it's nearly 40%. This lady said her husband, Michelle and her husband, she said she and her husband will celebrate 33 years of marriage this year, baby boomers ourselves. It becomes clearer now how relationships can be tested later in life. This is interesting. If you have children, they may need less of your attention as they move into adulthood, and an empty nest can resurface emotions you've long buried. Maybe one of you is retired and the other one isn't. So there's friction about how to spend your time, your money, and your activity. Health issues can also strain a marriage. Maybe it's the realization that after 30 years or so, you'd rather not spend any more time with a spouse you no longer like or have anything in common with. And that's why, right? That's what I want to get to. That's where the crux of this thing came. You know, we say that marriages have stress points. Sometimes it's children, sometimes it's job. And these little stress points can create stress fractures. And if you're not communicating and you're not having, you may need counseling. If you don't deal with that little stress point, that little stress point or stress fracture, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till it gets to this point where after 20, 30 years, you buried this stuff. And then that chasm is so big. That area is so
when
big.
You look at the specifics of what it costs to get the divorce, you might decide to build a bridge across that.
Ooh, that was good, dude. That was good.
Thank you so much.
Ooh, yeah, that's why I married you. You're a smart little girl. Anyway, but what can keep you from getting the chasm in the first place? That's what I want to talk about. Okay. That if you would have communication, that's why we keep stressing about communication. Talk about the things that are bothering you. Don't bury them. Don't eat them. Don't
You say
hide
that
them
because you're a communicator.
Well, do you bury? I'm a communicator. You may not be, but do you bury yourself? You tell me exactly what you think. If there's something on your mind, you don't. I can give you an example.
Go ahead.
And we're
gonna be off the air in a few minutes. Say it.
Somebody, we had a situation where there's a question of somebody coming to live with us. You made it perfectly clear that we had to have a conversation.
What?
We had to have a conversation, did we not?
Yes.
And so I'm saying that you make it clear to me.
But I had to learn. And what I'm saying,
but you talk about it. That's what I'm getting to. Yeah, you have to learn it. We all have to learn how to communicate.
How to talk.
We have to learn how to communicate. We all need to learn better communication skills.
Okay, so how do we do that? Why don't you, Mr. Communicator?
Well, you don't want to tell me, let me have a conversation with you. We got to talk about it. You didn't. Why don't you talk about the fact that you made sure I didn't sleep on that?
I wanted to express so that you would understand what I was feeling emotionally.
So you said it, did you not?
I did.
And you made it clear to me, did you not?
But I've been working on how.
Now that's why. Why don't you say? Because I'm the one who quickly says what's going on with me.
But that's because you process differently. You're
okay, the extroverted me, the one who communicated.
Which means
communication. Olympia says it's key.
And talk at the same time. Some of us are more. I'm thinking, and then I share.
Okay, so why don't you give that as a recommendation for the people who are like you, who think. I gotta think. You can't just say what's on the top of your mind. And sometimes, what did my son say? My son said a great quote. He says, sometimes the best thing to say is nothing. Keep it inside. Yes. Don't say something off the. I gotta tell you how I feel. No, you gotta think about what you're gonna say.
But you can't take the words back.
Right. You can't take the word. So maybe you can still communicate, but don't say, how I feel. I read them, didn't I?
I think
not a good idea.
Kindness.
Gotta communicate, but how you say it.
Gentleness is missing in much communication.
Because people get mad. That's why they get angry.
And because, my humble opinion, there's so much entertainment with social media that people think that this is really how people should act. And when a lot of times it's just fake.
Yep. Social media is a boondoggle because people.
Oh, I'm so impressed.
You like that?
I like that word.
Okay, thank you. And the reason is because people sometimes hide behind social media. Second, that they see stupid stuff on social media and believe that's real life. They see like reality shows, and that's why when reality shows the happy wives of this place, the what is it, the housewives, like
Housewives of Bel Air.
Yeah, Bel Air, Orange County, Potomac,
yeah.
And they have this nutty stuff that goes on.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's entertaining. Yeah, but it's not real. And if you use those principles or those type techniques and tactics in your marriage, it's not going to go well.
So here's a thought for those who find like the reality shows entertaining. Why don't you look up some of the individual personalities to see what they are really like?
Oh, see what their marriage is like, because many of them, the housewives of Atlanta, I don't know much about it except people. I know that there was a lady on there who was divorced, but she was on the show, and her husband was trying to make his way back into life, but it was a lot of drama. This drama, it does not fare well for a happy, successful relationship. Boom. Chicken boom.
Finish, please.
So,
another piece.
Or perhaps you can stop worrying about spending down the retirement funds while the other wants to splurge after years of penny pinching. This is for one who's retired and one who's not. That's the issue over which her husband and Michelle and her husband have had intense discussions. He retired last year and is eager to enjoy the fruits of our frugality. He's not a spendthrift and never has been, but he wants to tick off some bucket list travel experiences that are well within our financial ability. I've spent so much of my life being a super saver that letting the money go is very hard. But he said something that our friend said. The roadie said, if we don't spend our money, our kids will. They said,
Brody said
he said he had flown coach for years and not first class because it was so expensive. But then he did the numbers and said, this year we're starting to fly first class.
They won't run out of money. I mean, they're
not going to run out of money.
And they're not going to run out of money.
They're not going to run out of money. But he said we're gonna start going first class. And he said, you know what made me think? Because we said if we don't, when we die, the kids will fly first class. Okay, on our money. Okay, they will enjoy the fruits of our labor. And that was an interesting concept. That you of course want to leave a legacy. That makes sense. But you also want to not be so frugal. I'll use that word in this moment. Frugal that you make your life
that you don't enjoy.
Yeah, you don't enjoy some of the fruits of your labor.
The efforts.
Yeah. That you
of your labor.
Yep. Yeah.
Something else I was going to say related to that. I don't know what it was right now. But the other thing she talks about is, and this goes back to the money talk, just in terms of there should be no surprises. So to have time where you actually hear.
Oh yeah, I want to tell people where they might want to get this before I forget.
The whole article?
The article, it was a column in the Washington Post on September the 11th. A couple days ago, September 11th. So you can go back and see from Michelle Singletary in the Washington Post.
But summarize, you need to get a credit report. Regardless, you need to know what each other's credit.
Wait, don't you have one credit?
Huh?
Don't you have one credit report?
What?
Don't you have a couple's credit report?
No.
Or it's individual?
Individual credit report, sweetheart. There are 3 credit agencies.
But I thought it was that that if you're paying your household expenses on
each person has their own credit report.
I would figure that, but I mean, isn't there still a couple's credit report?
I've never heard of that.
I thought there was.
Why don't we Google it and see?
Okay.
We'll
anyway,
back to you. I have not heard that.
But some of that is not necessary for me to get a credit report on you. I look at your money.
Honey.
What are you talking about? You just said you should get. I don't understand.
Part of what Michelle Singletary talks about with a financial exit strategy is that both need to have their credit report. Some people don't check their credit. How many people on here check their credit report?
Who should check their?
Both.
I should check mine and you should check yours?
Yeah, we should check each other's.
Well,
if you're going through financial challenges and considering
but that gets back to you giving me all of this stuff that is down the road. I'm trying to keep them together in the first place. Talk to each other. Talk about the money.
Talk about your credit report.
My credit report, you see it on my statement that comes across your email every day. You know you have access to my account. Because stop. This is fixing. See, this is a problem that didn't need to be had because they didn't do the thing at the beginning. Put her name on your account, sir, and put his name. Stop. I want to make sure they clear me. And put his name on her accounts, sir and ma'am. And that way, y'all are both well aware what's going on. No secret accounts, no secret agendas, no secret stuff. Everybody has it. It's transparent. You don't have that problem. You don't have to have a credit report. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka.
But some don't.
They need to do that. Boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom. Look, go read the article. September 11th, Washington Post, Michelle Secretary. Our time is up. Our time is up. I know you got more stuff, but see, when she starts talking about financial stuff, she goes down rabbit holes, and I got to keep her.
I would just say, detail, you can never have enough detail. The fact that we know what's going on with our finances.
I know where your money is. I know how much money I see it coming in.
Because it's intermingled. Everybody is not that way.
Why don't they get that way?
Have a clue.
Why don't they get that way?
Because they're secretive.
And they got to stop that. Period. Full stop. Look, Olympia says, excellent topic this evening. Thank you. I know Gladys is here. Gladys Pemberton and all others are here. We got to go. Desiree Matthews said, great show, dear Willie. Thank you.
Education.
Greg says, agree. All our accounts are joint accounts. See, that's what I'm talking. And they've been married almost 50 years. See, that keeps a lot of the drama from happening.
But we have to continue to share information because some people are not joint, Willie.
Well, they need to get joint, D. They need to get joint. If you're not joint, you need to get joint accounts. You need to be on the same. You need to know what's going on. Period. Full stop. Now, I said what I had to say. Go to Jolley Marriage. Go to Jolley Marriage. Get the communication chapter. If you don't have the book, get 2 copies. Get the bundle. In fact, 2 books, 2 audio books, 2 workbooks. No, two books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and a CD seminar. Get it now. It's a lot cheaper than marriage counseling. A lot cheaper than a divorce lawyer. A lot cheaper than just being mad at each other all the time. JolleyMarriage.com. Stop. Go right now to JolleyMarriage.com. JolleyMarriage.com. Get the bundle. This is my prescription for everybody who doesn't have the bundle. Go right now. I prescribe for you to get the bundle. Now, what are we gonna say? JolleyMarriage.com.
I don't know. You shut me up.
I had to finish my thought. Thomas Tabor. Oh, my friend Tom Tabor. Yeah. Finally able to catch your show. Glad you were able to. My friend, good to hear from you. So, look, I'm glad everybody is checking it out. The show is, we want to thank you for all the people who tell your friends about the show, who tell them to watch and listen every day. And we're still looking for sponsors. We have not been as aggressive because we've been traveling so much, but we're going to get some sponsors who we can help promote their businesses on this show to people who are interested in reaching married couples, people in relationships. That's who we want to help.
And we are working on how to keep marriages together. And part of it is information and getting details.
The details. Ooh, my wife, what a character.
Everything is in the details.
Is it the details?
Yes, it is.
It's in the details.
Yes.
You see, there's her big glasses day. And for those who watch, you got to watch your hair and watch your glasses every week because it'll be something different. My time is up. We hope you had a good time. We've had a good time.
Thank you for joining us.
See y'all soon.
Please share the information.
Yes. Share and encourage people to stay together. All right. There we go. Here we go.
Strategies.
All right. Out with the song from my jazz album, Close to You.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.